Hey, what's going on, guys? Back to you guys another vlog. So in this video or vlog, same thing, I guess. I want to talk to you guys about what it feels like to be a first generation college student. You might be a first generation college student yourself. I can't even talk right now. I'm super dead tired, but I wanted to go record this video before I went to bed. But you might be a first generation college student if you're watching this, or you might have heard the term first generation college student and you're intrigued, interested, and wanted to learn more about it, or just want to know what it is. So this is a perfect video for that because, believe it or not, but I'm a first generation college student myself. My parents never went to college. I have the privilege and an honor to become the first person to not only attend college in my family but also graduate. Luckily for me, I will be graduating with my bachelor's degree in marketing management this June. So in a few months, the cool thing is that the grades for my winter core just posted, passed all my classes, got pretty good grades. It could be a little bit better than I expected, but some of the teachers sometimes, they're not good instructors or they're not good communicators, so they don't teach the material as well as they should. So, but yeah, anyways, I don't want to go into detail today. I got pretty good grades. I'm happy with them. But it feels surreal because I only have three more classes to take, and once I finish those classes, that's the end of my undergraduate college career, which feels very bittersweet because I'm excited that now I'm finishing school. I'm gonna get my degree. I'm gonna be in a cap and gown. I'm gonna go back out to the real world and put my degree to use. Finding a really good paying job along with my work experience, but when you're a first generation college student, you literally don't know not don't know anything, but you're just not familiar with the traditional or the average college lifestyle. Which sometimes can include Greek life. When I applied to college, I didn't even know about financial aid. I didn't know you can get um, help from the government or the federal grants, state grants, all that stuff. I didn't know anything about that. I thought you had to pay everything out of your pocket, and that's it. So, when you're a first generation college student, your parents obviously haven't gone through it. If you have friends or relatives that have gone through college, they can help you out. That's a huge resource. But in my case, I didn't not only my parents, but my relatives. No one really went to college, so I was literally the first one, not in my immediate family, but my entire family to go to college. So I had to learn everything on my own. So what I did was in high school, I didn't really take it seriously, so my GPA wasn't that good. So I didn't transfer straight from high school to a four-year university. What I did was this wasn't really a plan. I ended up taking 3 years off. Then I started going to college. But one of the things about being a first generation college is that your parents sometimes they don't want you to go to college. Well, actually, not that they don't want you to go to college, but they don't understand the value of going to college. Just because they made it from working their butts off, and they got to a successful point, they think that that's all you need to do to get in life. That is true, but the thing is that we live in a day and age now where if you don't have a college degree, most of the time you're not going to get an interview for a really good paying job, something that's going to make you it's going to give you a comfortable quality of life. So degrees are becoming more and more necessary every day. So they don't understand that. So, whenever you're staying up all night, studying for a test, doing homework, or whatever it is, they're like, oh, why don't you just go to sleep and do it tomorrow? Like, no, that's not how it works. So there's a lot of things that they don't understand. They don't understand, that they have a midterm or a final exam and they want you to do something like, babysit your cousins or, whatever it is. They just can't relate, and that's I don't want to say it's a problem, but it kind of is because they have to. It would really be helpful if they were more understanding at least. I don't want to get too off track. One of the things is that being around or being surrounded by students who are second generation students, third generation, or even fourth or fifth college generation, or fourth, fifth generation college students, they they already know what's ahead, right? They already have a plan because their parents have, or their parents, their grandparents, their relatives have been through college, and they already have developed a plan, a strategy, or they even have expectations, for these college students. So whether it's joining, the same fraternity or sorority that their parents or their grandparents have joined, or whether it's, joining a sports team, they have, or usually have expectations, but, when you're a first generation college student, you don't have that. So there are a lot of things that take place or that happen that really makes you feel, I don't want to say separated, but it's more of like a culture shock, if you will. Not necessarily in terms of race, nationality, but in terms of college culture. You when you're a first generation college student, you really don't know what to expect going in there. So you just kind of learn everything going or as you go along. The thing with being a first generation college student is that it's totally fine that you're gonna learn as you go along. But the thing is that you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Some of the mistakes that or one of the biggest ones that I made was when I transferred from my community college, which is LA Valley College. When I transferred from there to San Diego State University, what I did was I assumed that just because the nearby universities such as Cal State LA and Cal State Northridge, or known as CSUN, that they were, or those two schools, Cal State LA, CSUN, they were going to accept the classes that I took at LA Valley College. Just because those two schools are going to accept it, I assumed that San Diego State was going to accept it as well, because all three of these schools, they're in the California State University system, right? But I was so wrong, and the thing is that I learned and found that out when I got to San Diego, when I had my own place. So, here I am about 2 semesters into my college life at San Diego State University. I was really happy. I loved it there. Loved the atmosphere, and I'm sitting there with my advisor, and she told me that I have to retake some of these classes that I didn't receive credit for. I tried petitioning them, but a couple of the petitions got approved for the course substitution, but most of them didn't. They wanted me to retake these classes, and they were very difficult classes. Things that I put hours into studying and doing homework, and I honestly, the whole thing just felt like a huge loophole because every time I sat down and talked to my advisor, she would tell me one thing, and then the next time she would tell me another. And it didn't seem like there was an end to all the problems. It just seemed like it wasn't meant to be. And it was as hard as it was. I decided to move back home to LA, and just starting attending Cal State LA, and they accept all my classes. I didn't have to retake any classes. And here I am, 3 months away from graduation. So there's just a lot of mistakes that you make when you're first generation college student. The good thing is that you can tell, or when you're first generation college student, you can tell your children or other people, you can share their experiences that you went through and to help them. But when you're first one in line, it's tough because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes are gonna be costly. They're gonna take a long time to recover. So I'm not trying to discourage first generation college students from going to college, but you do have a tough road ahead. Luckily, there's a lot of resources online, and also a lot of advisors are willing to help you. Kind of, I believe they're called SCP, Student Education Plan. Every school has a different name for it, but basically what they do is when you sit down with them, you actually, they break down the class that you need and when you could take them. So, like, for example, spring semester or quarter, you take these classes. During fall or winter, you take these classes. So there's a lot of ways, and there's a lot of schools who have created programs for first generation college students. You actually get to meet other first generation college students, kind of share your experiences and learn. So there are a lot of things in place for first generation college students, and this is great because it's making it easier to become a first generation college student, whereas maybe 10, 15 years ago it wasn't as easy. So, but then again, you didn't have as many first generation college students. So, there's a little bit of a trade off, but there's just so many more first generation college students now because these students are realizing that they need to go to college, and their parents didn't go to college. So that's why I feel like there's just a huge increase in first generation college students. That's very awesome. It's awesome to go to school or go to college and get a formal education. So big props to you guys. And unfortunately, it seems that a lot of first generation college students don't graduate. I've been reading a lot of articles, doing a lot of research into this, and it seems that I can't remember exactly what the number was, but I think it was over 50 to 60% of first generation college who drop out of college, right? Either because they have to drop out and go to work full time to support their family financially, or for other personal reasons. So the odds are definitely against first generation college, but what makes it even better is that there's help out there. And also, if you whenever you graduate as a first generation college student, you're part of a very small group, and that once you're finished, once you're done, you beat the odds, right? You beat everyone, or you beat the statistics that were against you. So it feels great. It feels awesome. If you're a first generation college student, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'm way more than willing to help you guys out, share my experience with you guys. Also, if you enjoyed this video, definitely hit that thumbs button. That would help out the channel. Be sure to subscribe for more videos. Again, if you have questions, comments, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.